So I think we're going to be going into our second game here in our third game in just a moment.
Okay.
We have All Inspiration already kicking off a 2-0 lead, so looking pretty good so far. But it's still early here, and we're going to be going into another ZVT between tbham and StarTaledBOB.
Admin extraordinaire, tbham, versus the captain of Confederation. Pumped for this game, actually.
Yeah,
Really
on
pumped for it.
Daybreak.
tbham Zerg is pretty good. Like, he plays
He's
random
a
normally.
Yeah, he does, but I think during the playoffs here, he's been picking his race because
Yeah.
that way he can just more specifically an opening. Yeah, so uh, so actually, I just found out he went random last week. So I thought he
Yeah.
actually picked Terran last week, but
He played
no,
random against Shinobu from
mhm.
CT6 in TVT
Yeah,
game. And
in one of the way better TVT games that I've seen in a long time, especially coming out of TB Ham. That opening was really, really good that he pulled off. So we'll see if he has the same type of perfection in this game. As I might as well introduce him in the bottom left corner of Daybreak, spawning for Team All Inspiration, the red Zerg player, TB Ham.
And in the top right-hand side of Daybreak, the captain from Confederation, the Terran player, Star-tailed Bob. I always get the picture of like this weird ass dude like sitting behind the computer screen with a massive afro trying to kill Bart Simpson every time he plays.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, so another ZVT here. Before we saw a sort of mech Terran going up against a Roach Baneling all-in that failed, but then transitioned into a really cool Swarmhost Broodlord endgame type
Mm.
of composition that was just too much to handle. So we'll see what type of differences we get in this game as the game gets going here. No
Yeah, I
gas.
know. Mm. I know TB Ham likes to go roaches. He doesn't really like to play Ling Bailing as a Zerg player, from what
Right.
I've been speaking to him. Starter Bob, pretty good turn player. He's playing in the league that I'm running at the moment, and he's on top of his group in a mostly TVT group. But he took games off Gulahine, who's a very strong TVT player. So
Oh yeah.
whether or not whether what that means for his TVC, I don't know. But he is a very capable Terran player who to go up against TB Ham, which is probably two of the better platinum players running around in the CTL as far as skill goes. Right in the
Yeah.
top echelon of platinum, could be diamond kind of
Yeah.
area.
When season 3 and Dreampool came into play, a lot of people got demoted, and most people were able to
Yeah,
jump right back up, but some of them still stuck in the lower leagues here, and I think TV
yeah,
Ham is one of those guys.
yeah. Me as well. I was in diamond and I'm stuck in platinum as well. I broke my hand as well, so I kind of really wasn't able to play too much. So
So I think one of the games that's the absolute hardest to play with one hand would be StarCraft 2 for sure.
yeah.
So
At
that
the
kind of
moment, I'm observing this game with my left hand, and that's it. So it's kind of weird.
oh man, I don't even know if I could do that. That's
Yeah.
props to you for putting up with it and at least coming and joining us tonight to cast the finals because I couldn't observe a game with one hand, my
Mm.
left hand, I mean. But we do
Reaper
have a
out of Startup
oh
Bob,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, Reaper really standard here, and in most matchups when Terran is involved, just to get that quick and easy scout. But we had a really quick gas here out of TB Ham, and it looks like he's banking up quite a bit of minerals, getting those 2 queens here, 4 lings, and he's at 100 gas now. So I'm betting he's going to put that into a quick Zergling speed here.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it's a quick player. I don't really think that's kind of his style. I'd imagine he's just going to get quick link speed for safety once he can afford it with the minerals.
Reaper trying to get some harassment done, but those lings are out, and they're going to try to be annoying to that Reaper. Nice save on that drone by TB Ham, getting them into the gas geyser here, and I think that's about all we're going to see out of this Reaper because the queens are just about to pop here. Is he going to let that gas finish?
I hope not. He doesn't need it. So there he goes.
There we go. Link speed was indeed started.
Yeah.
So a little bit different because yeah, I have seen the ZVT out of TB Ham before, and he likes to go for that 1-1 roach push, which most Zerg players do these days against Terran.
Yeah.
But no, instead it's going to be Zergling speed, so we might actually see a Ling Bling type of game out of TB Ham here.
We could do. It's the best kind though. I will forever. My favorite matchup will forever be TVZ, where it's just Ling Bailing Muta versus Bio and Mines,
Hmm.
and a Thor or few thrown in there, and just constant back and forth for ages.
Yeah,
They're the
it's
best games to watch. It's
It
really
is really
expensive.
good. Those lings give you so much versatility. They allow you to move out on the map, but then also quickly run back if you have to defend a drop or anything like that. Where Roach Hydra is kind of like, it's almost like the mech of the Terran, right? Where it's like one big ball that moves
Mm.
slowly across the map and destroys everything. But with Ling Bling, you have all these different options you can go for. So yeah, well, it looks like both players just content to macro up here. The second base is down for StarTaledBOB, and he's moving into some tanks in the starport here. So.
Mm. It's very interesting. A quick tank out of him. He might be simply because, like, as if we know, I'm sure he knows that TBN does like to play roaches, and so he might have just gone this blind tank just to be safe, which I actually kind of like, from him. I don't think it's going to be mech as such, as he does throw down extra barracks. It's going to delay stim,
Mhm.
which is kind of not ideal, but getting tanks for safety is always a good option against a notorious roach player.
Yeah, and we do have the third base coming down for tbham, so really getting himself nice and set up here for a later game after getting that second gas up. Following it up with a Roach Warren, though, so the Roaches aren't out of the question. They're definitely going to be, I mean, that could be there just for some quick defense if he needs them, or it could be part of, a Ling Roach all-in, which is definitely viable as well, especially if you throw a Baneling Nest in there with it, so we'll have to see here. With only two gases, I don't think Banelings are going to be added as well, so.
Nah. I like his creep spread. He's already pushed this out to the ramp. He's gonna the next creep trimmer will push it down to the third. Really active about that already, which I've noticed in the games I've watched of his as well. He's got some really good creep spread.
Yeah,
He
there's
really
this
focuses on it.
There's a screenshot of tbham. I don't remember who he was playing against, but it's literally
Stark?
like,
He showed
I
me,
think
yeah.
so. Yeah, I think it was
Ono,
Stark. Yeah,
yeah,
and
Ono Hana?
the whole map
Yeah,
is creep. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. He does have a lot of APM to spare. It's kind of that's his APM isn't what's holding him back in platinum. It's a bunch of other things, but he does have APM to spare, so he just throws that into creep spread, which is super helpful. A lot of
Well,
roaches.
yeah, and he's actually got this Baneling nest down that was just scanned by StarTaledBOB, so he knows about the Baneling nest. I'm just not too sure how aware he is about the roaches. I'm not sure if there was any sort of mini engagement that opened those up to him yet, but he looks to be pretty well defended on this. He's got a tank on the high ground, a tank behind the bunker. That bunker is pretty empty, to be honest, and the second bunker not finished yet. But these Banelings morphing in here are going to give those bunkers a chance to get filled up and finished, so this is going to be interesting. I
Mm.
think StarTaledBOB has the edge here in defending this, though.
Yeah, the main problem is he doesn't know it's coming because he got those quick tanks. He didn't have Hellions, and Hellions defend well against Banelings just as well as tanks. But
Mhm.
not knowing this is coming, not having those backup bunkers is a bit of an issue.
Here
These
it
tanks,
comes.
though,
Those bunkers completely empty. The Banes are going to just completely bust through. And you know what? I think I was wrong. That first tank going down super quickly. That
yeah,
second one on the high ground going to be nice, but he's still going to at least force a liftoff here and kill lots of SCVs.
yeah, 10, 11 workers killed. It's just kind of at least the minimum he needed to get from this. I think he can at least trade okay with this push. If he can, I'm not sure if he can really push up into this funnel with the bio on top and the tank. It's going to be a lot different. He's going to make Banelings and try and shove his way in there. And he's getting this Overlord to try and snipe this
Oh,
tank. That's very, very cool.
yeah, he needs to get that tank, and it looks like he's going to get it. These Banes are going to kill so many SCVs. Oh, getting lifted up by the Medivacs there. Nicely done by StarTaledBOB to sort of mitigate his losses here, but there's still like 7 Banelings crashing up the ramp here. Tech Lab going down, wall being busted up, and more Lings streaming in to help the cause of the Zerg here as they're going to stream up this ramp. There's still a few Marines and able to do quite a bit of damage with the funnel here, but they're just
It's
going
not
to
an
run past.
ideal fight for tbham, but getting that tank really, like if he didn't get that
Mhm.
tank, that push with those Banelings would not have done much at all.
Yeah, but these
I think
Lings in the main here, they're going to pick off another tank also, I think.
another 9 workers. I think he's done enough that
Yeah.
like there's still all this bio and Stim is pretty much finished now. So I think like the push is over. As I say that, tbham's trying to rally more in, get him more Banelings, but
Even with Stim and these Medivacs, though, this the
Even-
amount of Lings
yeah.
here is going to be way
needs
more.
to be on the high ground. I think that's a mistake to push down now.
Oh, getting us around on some of these Marines here. The Marines are going to be pretty strong, especially with Stim here. Baneling's not in the fight with these Lings to help out, but I don't know. Lots of bio going down
A
here.
lot of Banelings. So Marauder is tanking well. These Banelings, they're trying to run up into me. Concussive Shell is actually super helpful.
A
The
couple.
civvies, yeah.
That could have been worse for StarTaledBOB, and I think even more. Let's see here. What do we got out of tbham? 24 more Lings, so he's definitely trying to get the kill here.
He's
I think
committing
he could-
to it.
Yeah, the fact is though, with this third base with 14 drones on it, I mean he's got a lot of workers here, 50 workers to 19. He can afford to do this and just keep StarTaledBOB on his back foot. I think he just wants to build up or pool up a few more extra army units though, so that he can actually get the kill instead of streaming in with low numbers to get taken out by this bio. But
Triple mules
StarTaledBOB.
for the Terran. You can never underestimate that power of the 3cc. Yeah, it's I think tbham those last few attacks. I think he just attacked a little bit in like two different armies. He kind of just needed everything together to go in all in one go. Should have been ideal.
I think so. Yeah, he's still in a good spot here though.
Yeah,
But
but
like you
he's
said,
not behind by any means. I just don't think he can kill. Like I think StarTaledBOB it has a possibility of coming back in the game.
I'd like to see some Baneling speed and maybe some +1/+1. There's a +1 upgrades coming through and a Spire going down as well. So tbham switching it up this week, and it's paying off here as he's given himself an insane lead in this game. And it's really his game to throw now. So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen from his point of view. But StarTale getting a much needed time to kind of clean himself up and get himself picked up again and getting that wall rebuilt. So the game's not over yet.
I'd like to see tbham take a fourth and go up to that 7th and 8th gas geyser. Just because so he can support both lots of banelings, lots of mutas to defend drops. Because that's really how he's going to lose. Is like StarTaledBOB somehow gets like a ninja expand up, or he dies to drop, or tbham dies to drops. He's already got pretty good overlord coverage to defend the drops.
Yeah, and a few Lings and Banes and a Spore Crawler as well, and his main getting ready for that. His third base is still pretty open though, so he's got to be careful with that. But he's still at the point where, okay, here's a macro hatch going down. I thought that might have been a fourth, but he's still pretty much in this point of the game where he can only build, or he only has to build army units. So he can trade pretty efficiently. That is going to be so many banelings. That's insane.
So significant amount of banelings, isn't it? 24 on the way. He's already got 12, so it's up to 36. StarTaledBOB trying to take this third, which is spotted by Ling as well.
Yep, and he's got a lot of Marauders, and these few Widow Mines scattered across the place too could be really deadly to those banelings. So tbham has to be really careful. But the opening to the natural is pretty open right now. So if tbham gets a clue about that, he'll be able to do a lot of damage. Although, of course, right when I say that, StarTaledBOB closing that door.
I would like to see him wait till baneling speed. I don't want to see him attack before baneling speed's done, because it's just going to be so easy for the Terran to micro his Marines back and just let the banelings absorb all the hits. Otherwise, if you can wait till baneling speed, +1/+1's finished for tbham.
Yeah, and speed is going to finish just after this engagement actually happens. This is kind of too bad for tbham. He's got to back up here.
This Widow Mine. Oh, does separate a few banelings off. I like that. Oh, that's a lot of banelings. My goodness me.
Huge mine hit, and all these Marauders in really good positions here. These banelings really not doing as much damage as they were supposed to do, and StarTaledBOB coming up pretty good from that. Yeah,
I like that trade for StarTaledBOB, but it's those little trades that he can take that will get him back in the game. Lings are flooding in now, and if they're 1/1 Lings, good micro here from StarTaledBOB actually.
Yeah, stopping the surround here. These Lings are trying really hard for it, though. The Medevac's helping out quite a bit. Marauders are so tanky. You're seeing that right now. It looks like the bio is going to actually live through this attack here. And yeah, the StarTaledBOB needs to do that maybe one or two more times, and he's totally right back in this game.
Some mutas killed some SCVs in the main as well. There's actually no mining. Oh, there's one SCV in the main mining gas. That's it. There's no mineral.
Oh, the third base. tbham stretching his opponent.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Jesus, he's getting his third base too, forcing the SCVs to leave and evacuate. This Bioforce is going to eventually be able to push that back, though. But look, the muta's coming back in through the main. Those missile turrets aren't done yet.
No, it's not. I'd like to see tbham focus on some add-ons, maybe, if he can get in here. Because there's no workers to kill, so I reckon killing add-ons would be great. Just really slow down that Marine production, if he could. Killing anything, though, is kind of good. It's better than killing nothing.
Although I suppose the supply depots, it looks like he's targeting down, are probably the least priority out of everything here.
Yeah.
But he's going to get out of there with those mutas, not lose too many, and just kind of putting StarTaledBOB a few steps back again, killing 17 more SCVs in that process. Really nice play here. He's, like you said before, he's all over the place, stretching his opponent really thin, forcing him to multitask. And to give credit to StarTaledBOB, though, he's dealt with it about as well as you could have expected.
Yeah, he's hanging in there for a completely unscouted Roachling Baneling. Well, I wasn't really all in. He was off 3 bases. Yep. Really powerful shove. He's doing well. He's hanging in
And
there as long as he can.
this Mutaflock is getting bigger and bigger, although he's losing quite a few of them to these Marines. He's really focusing on that armory, which is going down, so that's a thing. I don't know exactly how important it was for
Yeah, he's already got
StarTaledBOB.
+2 attack, like halfway done, or a third of the way done. Doesn't have +2 armor started yet, so he's gonna have to rebuild that armory, especially if he wants Thors as well, obviously. And
Yeah, for
tbham's
sure.
finally saturating this fourth base. Needs to get in those gas geysers though, so he can continually keep these trades up. Because if he gets up to those like that 7, 8, 9, 10 gas geysers, he's kind of, well, extractors, not gas geysers. He's kind of gonna do. He'll be able to continually take these trades for a long time as a Zerg player.
Yeah. He's already kind of in that position, to be honest. Wow, those two Marauders sucking up a lot of Baneling hits there. Good job by StarTaledBOB. And this missile turret wall in his main is enough to push back the mutas for now. So he's stabilizing here a little bit, but he's almost mined out of the main, and he's going to be pretty much on one base mining here.
Oh.
A
He needs
lot
to
of wall
save
of chat.
this third. This third's burning
Oh.
down. Can't let this third burn down.
If those two
It's like
lanes would have got that.
Yeah. He's even on army supply. Like tbham's just finished 2-2, and StarTaledBOB has 1-1. He's almost got 2-1 now, so he's a little bit behind in upgrades, but his army supplies are even. So he's not out of this game, and with mules, like mules can keep the Terran alive for such a long time.
Yeah, and that's pretty evident even in this game. I mean, there was
Yeah.
in any other race would have been dead with 15
Yeah.
workers or however many StarTaledBOB had. But he's been able to stay in this game, and tbham just needs to keep doing what he's doing with these mutas and harassing when the Terran army leaves. He can see this army on his creep, so he's swinging around with his Lings and Banes and going to try to kind of. I don't know if he wants to engage this army or if he just wants to go in and harass the main once again, but it looks like he's going to harass in the natural, and he's getting a lot more damage done here. This is insane. I think this might be the push that ends it here. All these
Yeah.
SCVs going to go down to Banelings. Oh my god, 27
Sorry,
workers
Banelings.
killed. The third CC goes down, and now, actually, he could have run into the main. He actually doesn't. He's pretty happy with killing 29 SCVs and just backing off again. 13.
He lost so many workers down, but he lost a lot of Banelings against Marauders. It's like StarTaledBOB still has an army supply lead. I mean, 3-3 is started. That's kind of the advantage that tbham's got, is he can afford to go to Hive and go to 3-3, but pretty
be
big
careful.
Terran army moving across the map.
Yeah, and this is the worst position you can be in as a Zerg when you think you're totally winning on every single front of the game, but except for the fact that the Terran army is gigantic right now with medevac support, this Ling Bane force is not going to be able to kill this Bioforce. Oh, well, he took out all the Marauders, I suppose.
Yeah, which is nice if he can buy enough time to get more Banelings to clean up the rest of these Marines. But
Yeah, technically not an efficient trade, but in this,
no, definitely
in this
not.
situation, the mutas are back in the natural again. They're going to take out that second base. It's really up to these Marines and these few Marauders here to end the game for StarTaledBOB, and there's a chance that it can happen.
He's going to stop 3-3, which I don't think is really going to change the game, to be honest. 3-3 was kind of just a bonus for tbham.
Mm-hmm.
He's slowly trying to clean up this force in his natural. There's Banelings rolling in and Lings. It's just so little things. I think his Banelings are going to do it. He lifts up, and yeah, the army supplies are even, but I think most of the army supply evenness is now just in medivacs. There's
Yeah, and
a
these
lot of
mutas are going to
medivacs.
catch. The boost just
Oh, they
ran
are.
out. These mutas are totally
Oh.
going to crush all these medevacs here, and I think that's going to be the tipping point here.
That's finally is. And it's a very, very good game. It's a very entertaining macro game, just quietly. It's been the best game so far.
Yeah, and it was exactly like you said about the Ling Bling Muta
Yeah.
play. Just creates awesome games if the two players play correctly, and both these guys playing really well so far. StarTaledBOB knows the significance of this game, so I think he's going to stick in here till the bitter end. He does have one base and mules, so he could still be in it here, but he's pretty broke right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of time. We have the luxury of seeing everything on the map. Fifth base going
Obviously.
down. So we know what's up, but StarTale going to try to stick into this and pull off a miracle here.
Yeah.
That creep
Still
spread
going.
still continuing.
Still good. He's getting close to probably what would have been the Terran's fourth if the Terran ever got a fourth on this map. But yeah,
There was
just needs to make.
There was a
Is there a
drop
drop?
down here at the bottom. Yeah, well, he was thinking about sneaking into the main, but he turned around right when he went over creep, so I wonder if he expected to be spotted there and decides to come back, and there's a GG as soon as